All right, check it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rustin Hour. I am one of your hosts, William Britto.
And I am D'Angelo Morrison.
Hey, it's Jerald Nuness.
And we are going to be coming to you all, not live, but a little bit of pre-recorded, to talk to you about all of the things that are pressing in our community that impacts us as queer folks, black queer folks specifically. And I'm going to pass it back over to D'Angelo. We're about to get it started.
So it's going to be awesome topics. We're going to be doing some educating, some playing around, some having fun, all the different things. I'm so excited to be here. How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. It's Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It's almost the middle of the week. It's not hump day yet. But I'm feeling good.
I'm tired. Let's keep it a buck. I'm tired, but yeah, I'm excited to be here though, but tired.
I am happy to be here. I'm excited.
Happy? We from Britain
happy
now?
to be here. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just how they say it in New Orleans. I just got back from New Orleans.
Birthday.
Baby, they do not say no happy.
Baby. I'm going to be saying that for the next 3 weeks. No, it's a good time. But
happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Let's start there. Happy birthday. How old you turn?
Yes, 31.
Okay.
31 years, honey, yes. But okay, let's talk about He Is Valuable, because this podcast is a production of He Is Valuable, an amazing organization here in Atlanta, Georgia. Also, you can find us all over the country when we do other things. But He Is Valuable. Anybody want to talk about He Is Valuable real quick?
You know, in addition to that, He Is Valuable is a nonprofit organization where we are dedicated to uplifting and honoring and supporting black queer men. Don't get it twisted though. We look out for everybody in the community, especially through our valuable feedbacks, which we have coming up on a Thursday of this week, but we do that monthly. So we just out here, nonprofit growing, really trying to help and influence and impact the black queer community. And we are status inclusive. If you don't know what that means,
you better say that.
Jerald, D'Angelo, what's status inclusive, baby?
All statuses matter.
What's the status? What are you talking about?
Status, we're talking about an HIV status.
Absolutely. So a lot of organizations cater to a specific type of population when it comes to, you know, black queer communities. But we are status inclusive. So that means we have members who are HIV positive, HIV negative, and it's one of our ways to help reduce the stigma around HIV. So that is who we are as an organization.
Absolutely.
You said that so well.
Oh, thank you, baby.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, girl.
Not only those beautiful facts about He Is Valuable, we've hosted a lot of different types of events. We have different types of programs. You talked a little bit about the valuable feedings or valuable feeding. Value feedbacks is what you said.
Mm-hmm. Did I say it incorrectly?
You did. I mean, but you know, it could be called valuable feedbacks currently because it's modified right now.
I said valuable feedings.
We'll roll it back.
Yeah, roll that shit back.
But Valuable Feedings, which is an amazing program, where we go around the community providing food, nutrition to people who need it. But then outside of that, we have our programs department that usually hosts things like our Chit Chat Chew, our random kid bags, which we'll have another one coming up major time in the very near future. It's going to be huge, I believe. So
is it going to be random?
Sure. And then, you know, we have our marketing side where you'll have Him Naturally and Just Fuck 'Em, which is two of our campaigns that we have been running. So definitely check those out. So Just Fuck 'Em basically is an extension of U equals U. So undetectable means untransmittable. Just Fuck 'Em essentially is like an extension of that. Definitely go check us out on our social media so you can read more about Just Fuck 'Em, Him Naturally, and other campaigns that we've done. Because we've also done a voter campaign as well, which I think was really successful last year. So definitely
we're gonna do it again this year.
We definitely will. So that's He's Valuable. Check us out. It's an amazing organization. This podcast is an extension of the programs of He Is Valuable, and I think you guys are going to love it because we have a lot of things in store for you.
You can Google us, and we'll pop up. Click the link. You'll find the Instagrams, the Twitters, all that.
But also, we can't talk about He is Valuable and this podcast without talking about the namesake of this podcast, Bayard Rustin. Somebody I
now,
truly...
Who's Bayard Rustin?
Say it again?
Now, who's Bayard Rustin? For the people that don't know.
Somebody who I've truly idolized for years. A man who, for a long time, years ago, stood in the background, not just standing in the background. He ran shit from the background while other people, amazing people, gave their speeches and went out and rallied the troops. Bayard Rustin was the behind-the-scenes person really pulling the strings and making things happen. And not only that, he was a black queer man doing that in like the 60s, like in the time where being black and gay was just not, or being black and queer, however you want to say it, was not accepted in many facets of our communities.
Yeah, he was organizing in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Yeah. back in the day.
And to be very clear, you all, Bayard Rustin was not given the glory for a lot of the things that he accomplished simply because he was an openly black gay man. And so that is part of the reason why we named this the Rustin Hour, which is to give him the credit which is always due. If you did not know, he was very monumental in helping Dr. Martin Luther King orchestrate the March on Washington. He is the one who introduced the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi to Martin Luther King. So a lot of the things that we know about Dr. Martin Luther King is actually influenced and impacted by Bayard Rustin. It was even to the point where he was almost blackmailed by someone in Congress who was basically going to threaten and say that he and Dr. Martin Luther King were in a homosexual relationship just to sabotage his career. And so, yeah, we pay homage to Bayard Rustin because to choose freedom over your own happiness, essentially, in that moment, I think that speaks a lot.
Absolutely. And the sad part about it is so many people, his legacy for a lot of people have been swept under the rug. A lot of people do not know about Bayard Rustin. If you go into a room and,
especially getting into like the younger generation.
Right. A lot of people just don't know. So I felt like that was why one of the big important things about this podcast is highlighting someone who truly trailblazed for all three of us. Highlighting the legacy that he has so that people can understand and know and learn about all the things that he was doing. So we'll talk about Bayard Rustin probably throughout this podcast.
Absolutely. And I said, my bad, D'Angelo, go ahead. And I said earlier, choose freedom over his own happiness. You're probably like, what the fuck? But essentially what I mean is the sacrifice, the sacrifice of happiness, of truly being able to live his true self and have that support. He's fighting for freedom, but yet not experiencing the freedom. So yeah, just to clarify that just a little bit.
Yeah. If you get a chance, go check out some of his speeches and things on YouTube. There are a lot of those there that you can check out and learn a bit more. There's some documentaries, low budget, but some documentaries on him.
But they are there.
They're very important. So cool. Are y'all ready to get into our first topic? I feel like we're ready.
Let's so ready.
Let's get it started in here.
And we're going to get it started hot. Listen.
Where's your record deal?
Oh, no, baby. I'll stick to my day job.
Well, our first topic this week is going to be our mayor's race that's coming up in 2022. It's an unexpected one for a couple reasons. Does anybody want to talk a little bit about their thoughts?
Well, so Miss Keisha Lance Bottoms
ain't running no more.
Well, let's start from the beginning. She was elected December 5th, 2017, sworn in January 2nd, 2018. And then we get to hear May, well, not today, but May 7th, 2021.
Back to the future. Or back to the past, rather.
Where she resigned. She was going to resign.
Well, not necessarily resign. She announced that she's not running for re-election.
She ain't running no more.
She not.
She's tired, boss.
Which is interesting because this, like you said, she was elected in 2017, which basically means that she only is going to serve one term.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody was expecting that. I remember, if you guys remember, like back when she was elected, and everybody was like going crazy because they got a mayor named Keisha. I saw that
Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Media. Yes,
Don't forget that part.
Lance and Bottoms for Atlanta, and people was like losing their shit over it. I mean, including myself.
I mean, her name is Keisha. Traditionally, that's as the folks say, that's a hood name in the black community. Keisha. Everybody
Angela, what's your mom's name?
Keisha.
Oh, well.
There we go, Keisha.
There we go.
Yes. So,
I mean, we all know a few Keishas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, there's quite a few.
Would not expect them to be mayor.
But she did that.
Was not.
She was,
And that's a whole nother conversation about
Yeah.
expectations and names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That being said, so she's no longer running for mayor, which basically opens up the 2020 mayor race, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this goes. Let me say that over the past year or so, Keisha has really grown her, I don't want to say status, but she's kind of grown her image.
I think that's an accurate word, status.
Yeah, nationally, not just in Atlanta, but nationally. She was actually considered for the VP spot on Joe Biden's election in 2020. And not only that, even though she didn't get the VP slot, she did get a chairmanship in the DNC. She is the Civic Engagement and Voter Suppression chairman. And so she now has a lot of status on a national, huge platform. Yet now she's deciding to resign.
Well, I have a few ideas as to why.
The resignation, or why she
Not
decided
resign.
to.
We keep saying resign. And then she's decided not to run for re-election.
Deciding not to
We gotta
run.
make sure we have that correct. She didn't resign.
Well, so she was sworn in January 2nd, 2018. March 2018, there was a whole cyber attack on, I guess it was the Atlanta government.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to try to handle that.
Ooh, that's why my court date kept getting rescheduled.
And also COVID. I mean, that had something, that it was both, probably.
Well, no, this was before 2020. This is before
You're right. So have you had your court date yet? You already went to... Okay.
I think so, yeah.
You think so? Okay, anyways.
It ain't my fault, though. Look, it's a cyber attack, bitch. That is not my fault.
All right. So she had to handle that. There were also, it was an increased number of homicides, the most since 1996. Former President 45. She had to deal with that. Then her... had to deal with that. There was protests happening everywhere. The killing of Rayshard Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, because a lot of people didn't feel too hot about her.
And what was the young man who was murdered at the Wendy's by the police officers?
That was Rayshard Brooks.
Yeah.
No, Rayshard. Oh, that was Rayshard Brooks.
Yeah.
Who was? I'm thinking about Ahmaud Arbery.
Oh yeah, that wasn't in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But close enough to us though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had all of those things. You also had some issues with how the city of Atlanta has been handling their budget, specifically money geared towards homelessness and housing. And so she's definitely faced a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
A lot of challenges. But
Stressed out. She's stressed.
However, why do you guys think she's choosing to step away?
Because she's stressed.
I mean, if I were mayor and I went through, even though she may have been looked upon as having successfully handled and solved a lot of these issues, and she also, not to mention, the state, you remember, tried to get ownership or a property of the airport, Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
She beat that, all within a 3-year time span, like all of these things piling up. Black women are tired.
Tired.
They're tired. I mean, hell, I wouldn't run for a second term if I experienced it. And then through a global pandemic where
That
you
too.
don't always have the support from all areas of leadership of your state government, that could be taxing.
And you could just be sick and tired.
And Atlanta's the largest city in Georgia. It's the state's capital. That's a lot of pressure.
So she said, let me just go ahead and throw up the deuces. Let me focus on my family. Chill out. Mental health is real.
It is. It is. I will say there is a part of me that feels disappointed in the idea that that people are looking at this as if she's stepping down because she couldn't handle the pressure. Because I don't like that idea that people are going to think that, a black woman can't handle all of these responsibilities that comes with being mayor. I feel like a lot of mayors go through a lot of stuff. Look at DC's mayor. Let me tell you how much stuff she has to go through, But I don't see her stepping back from that. She's pushing forward. I mean, she got a lot of the backlash from the January 6th insurrection and her response, and there's a homeless problem in DC as well, and so many other issues, including COVID and whatnot. But she's a black woman. She is stepping, Mayor Bowser, she is stepping up and she's pushing forward. So it just makes me feel some type of way, a little bit type of way, that she's stepping away in this way, even though she's trying to, or I won't say trying to spin it, she's kind of telling it as if she was very successful and now she just wants to step away. But I don't know. It just feels weird.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's good to know when
it's time.
And you don't want to continue to stretch it too much, and then like shit hits the fan and like it just everything goes horribly.
I mean, to be honest with you as well, there are a lot of black people in Atlanta who did not agree with her leadership. There have been a lot of conversations around her not truly supporting all areas of equal opportunity housing or, better housing for everybody who's impacted by it. And that goes into the identities of our community, black queer people, black people living with HIV in the city of Atlanta who thought that there wasn't enough leadership or enough support around equal housing. So, I mean, I think those factors come into play too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can 100% agree with that because I did not always agree with some of the decisions that she's made. I did not particularly care for her way of dealing with the all the, I don't want to say riots because I hate that term in terms of
the protests,
Black Lives Matter and everything, but the protests and everything that was happening last summer. I personally did not care for the way she handled that situation.
Right.
It was the
take
words.
Your ass home. You need to be in at this time. Like she your mama, your auntie.
Right. And then again, like I mentioned earlier on, the budgeting and the housing issue is horrible in Atlanta. Very, 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 very horrible. So I mean, while I think she has been successful in many places, I do also think she's had her failures. But it is sad to see her step away in this way, because I would prefer her to have had maybe 2 terms and then said, look, I'm going to step up. I did what I did here, and now it's time to step up. But maybe that's not her trajectory. Maybe she's not going to step up. Maybe she doesn't want to be in an administration, even though it kind of seems like she does. Or maybe she doesn't want to be, well, I don't know if she's going to run. Do y'all think she'll run against Stacey
Abrams in the governor position?
Hell no.
She better not.
Pass that shit now.
What? She better not. First of all, let's be honest. Sis, when I found out that she was in the running to be one of Biden's VP, I said, girl, you're barely in Atlanta. Can you take care of what's going on at home first? And then 2, like, that's vice president. That is a pretty big deal. If Joe Biden was to, go, vice president has to then fill those shoes as president. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. I don't know how I'd feel in that situation if Keisha Lance Bottoms was the president of the United States. Simply because I don't know too much about her political career. She seems to me, I don't want to say as a novice, but in comparison to a lot of other candidates who have run for, office positions, of high levels. She just doesn't seem to have the complete resume package for me. And I think that, speaking to you, a second term would have been nice just to get that, maybe change that narrative a little bit. Maybe other black people who did not understand or did not agree with how she carried her term the first time, maybe that would have had some opportunity to change around the second term, but we don't know. But I honestly think she got something up her sleeve.
I do too. I honestly do. I'm not sure what it is.
We know it's not Walgreens.
I mean, we know. Well, we
Baby,
know that.
I read that too. Walgreens. Y'all gonna do her like that? Bitch, Walgreens.
I mean, she would have had a nice position there, like with her homie. What's
The first thing
yeah,
I thought of was seeing Keisha in a light blue polo with a red vest on and that little bob. Welcome to Walgreens.
Well, yeah, she's
not doing that.
She definitely said that that's not the next move or step for her. But that now that is a question. If you're going to step away, what is it where you're going to go? We know that she's already denied a role in the administration, in the Joe Biden administration. I think she was probably offered Department of HUD, which. I have my personal feelings about her running HUD, if that's what she was offered.
Why do you have your personal feelings about that, D'Angelo?
As I said, the way she's handled budgets and the housing situation in Atlanta, I have not particularly agreed with. So I definitely would have loathed the idea of seeing her at HUD.
Well, he said loathe. Oh, my gosh.
That being said, so that brings up the question, will she challenge Stacey Abrams? Will she run for lieutenant governor? Will she run it for Secretary of State? Those are all positions that are open and up for election in 2022. As well as, would she challenge Warnock?
Oh.
Challenge Warnock in what?
In the Senate race.
The Senate race? She ain't even...
So that's a no.
That's yeah.
That's a hell no.
Mm-hmm.
I, once again, don't believe she has demonstrated long enough to be considered for that position. Mm-hmm. That's just my personal belief.
I mean, granted, Warnock is also a first-time politician.
Agreed.
So, and I had similar feelings about him, but
wow.
I mean, but also I think about the quote unquote times that we're in and how that affected the way people are voting. Also, I feel like if someone else was running against Warnock or someone else, I don't know.
I actually want to take the time to talk about my a little bit of my sexism right there that I just demonstrated and didn't even realize it.
Go ahead, we listening, all ears.
Because D'Angelo literally just reminded us that Reverend Warnock is not a seasoned politician, and he won the Senate election. And I just said that Keisha did not have that caliber. Mm-hmm. And that just goes to show you how ingrained gender roles and sexism and misogyny is ingrained in us. Damn. So I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right.
Wow.
I mean, but it's also okay if you just don't feel like she...
Yeah.
But then that goes to why do I not feel that? Because she has obviously demonstrated that she's more politically involved
than Warnock was.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been mayor at this point. She was on the city council for a while before she became mayor. So she's definitely experienced, just not at a national level or statewide level. But neither was Warnock, and also neither was Ossoff.
Yeah, but I still think because I feel like it's different. With Keisha versus Warnock and Ossoff, I feel like with Warnock and Ossoff, those are positions that, in order to turn a state blue, we needed, and those were the options. Not necessarily saying they may have been the best options or whatever, but if you're living through the times of 45 and you want that to kind of go away, you're gonna do what you need to do.
Right. So at that time they were the best options that we had at that time.
Yeah.
But looking at 2022, 2022, maybe there are more suitable candidates than Keisha. I don't know. I really don't know where she's gonna go with this. Stepping away from being mayor thing, but I wish her the best. I hope that
absolutely.
Whatever she does, she's very successful at. Because another thing no one's really thought about, but she probably could go to the court if she wanted to. She was a judge before she became city councilwoman.
She was a judge.
Mm-hmm.
I could.
So
why did I picture divorce court?
Because you thought of Maybelline, child.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought about that the other day. I was like, she probably even could go back into being a judge if she wanted to.
She got options.
So the options are absolutely there.
Wish her well in all.
Even a federal judge if she wanted to. She wasn't a federal judge before, but she's close enough with Joe Biden that he could choose her for a federal judge.
I'm thinking something's going to happen. She's going to be on that cabinet, baby.
Well, maybe.
I feel like she's going to get appointed by Joe Biden to something.
We'll find out in the near future.
Yeah. I would be interested to know what. But.
Right.
Sidebar, speaking of next mayors, I just thought about how Buckhead is trying to separate itself from the city of Atlanta. And will the next mayor allow that?
I feel like this is not their first time trying to do that.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah, I feel like they've been trying to do that.
But Fulton County did. South Fulton.
They did?
Yeah, they did. That is true.
So it seems like everybody's trying to step away from Atlanta. Keisha,
baby, all that's gonna be left is University and University Road on up there at 17th Street, baby.
The Bluff about to come his own city, and soon, and Mabel Abel's gonna be the mayor.
Mabel Abel? No, ma'am.
No, we love. It's okay. We love Mabel Abel.
Wait, who is Mabel Abel?
She's on the city council.
Oh,
maybe it's Maybelline.
And she ran for Senate.
So FYI listeners, I get educated about politics every time I talk to D'Angelo. So don't quote me or peg me as a political expert, even though, we're talking about politics. I mean, it could be politics because it could be anyways, but politics. So I learned too as well, and I hope that we are also educating you all. More so D'Angelo on the political side is doing most of the education.
Mm-hmm. He be knowing everything, child.
Wake up, baby. Wake up, baby.
Speaking of political education and everything, we can move on to our next topic because we also have to talk about these voting bills that have been getting introduced over the past several months. So let me say that as of this last March, 361 voter restrictive bills or provisions have been introduced in 47 states. 5 of those states have signed those bills into law, including Georgia and Florida, and others are on the brink of doing so. 29 of those bills have passed at least one chamber in the state.
That is scary.
So, do any of you have any thoughts on where all of these revisions, all of these restrictive provisions are
Can we tell
from?
the people a little bit about some of these restrictions or provisions, rather?
Mm-hmm. So in Georgia, there were a few things that was happening, particularly one that drove me up the wall was that they were making it illegal to provide water to people.
I hope you don't get thirsty or hungry in the heat, child.
I just don't understand why that's illegal. You're denying people the basic element of which we need to survive, bitch, is water. They act like folks is out there, but they acting like people is out there buying pints of Hennessy, No, it's water.
Oh, baby. Can you imagine?
Oh, niggas would be lit. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck this 3-hour line, bitch.
But I think that's part of the goal too, is to because when people get annoyed, or they might get annoyed with not being able to have water and being in the heat and not having snacks. I guess you got to bring your own snacks and water, maybe.
I guess so.
But to make it illegal is extreme to me.
Yeah, there was that. There were also provisions where they were basically going to make it Well, make it where you have to have an ID to vote by mail, which you didn't have to have in this last election. You didn't have to have an ID to vote by mail. They also made it illegal to send ballots to people by mail unless they requested it first from the state. So in this last election, the state, the government just sent out sent everyone who was registered to vote a ballot by mail. But now they're saying, no, we're not doing that anymore. We don't want everybody to have the option of just receiving one. We want them to request it first and then receive it and then vote. And then when you do that, you also need to have an ID.
So here is how that can be potentially problematic. Because I know some of y'all are probably thinking, well, what's the issue with that? We're required to have an ID for everything else that we do, like going into clubs and bars, when we go to the airport for TSA. But working with low-income communities a lot, or underrepresented communities, a lot of folks don't have access for whatever reason to state identification and the hoops that y'all know what it's like to try to get your damn license at the DMV. This shit is crazy.
Barriers.
Like, nobody likes going to the DMV. Like, if you lose your license, you like, bitch, I'm going to just have to fake it till I make it for about a week because this I am not going. Found. Okay. Like,
see what happens.
Literally just had that conversation earlier with someone.
Like, getting the ID is hard and it costs money too. Yep. Like, so what if you can't, what if you ain't got them $32? Them last $32 just went to getting food for you or transportation to medical appointments or doctor's appointments or whatever the case may be. And so when a lot of people don't have access to that identification, and just because there are barriers in their lives where they don't have access to that state identification, they don't have the right to vote. And that's essentially what that's kind of not necessarily stripping their right to vote, but creating another barrier which could prevent folks from voting.
Yeah, that's what they're all about, is creating barriers. There's another provision where they're only allowing one drop box. We've been in the last election, because everyone was receiving a ballot by mail, you can take that ballot to a drop box and you can drop it in the box, and that your vote will count from that way. But now they're saying they only want to allow one drop box in per district.
That's not okay.
Like, what you mean?
That is not okay. Like,
there are different populations. And,
exactly.
There's a different amount of people in every district.
And y'all are creating barriers for people to do their civic duty. Like, you should want people to go and vote. You should want people to go and vote.
1 to 100,000 people to try to drop it off.
Yeah.
Not to mention there are already issues. I remember doing this last election. I wanted to early vote, and I looked on the website, the official government website,
My Georgia voter page.
Hello, to go see where the nearest early vote location was. So they had some mobile buses. I said, oh shit. Mobile buses, bitch. I'm about to go walk down the street, hop on the little party bus, vote, and be out.
Bus and go vote.
So, baby, I'm walking down Pryor Street. Mind you, it's like 83 degrees outside. The sweater's coming through my shirt, baby. But I said, you know what? It's okay. It's all good. I'm going to do my civic duty. I'm going to vote. So I get to the location where the bus was supposed to be.
Oh, it wasn't there?
The bus wasn't there. Guess when the bus showed up? Never. The bus showed up.
So
never.
that was listed on the website,
the actual website. And so when I went inside, first I tried to call them and say, "Hey, what's going on?" "Oh, there ain't no bus there, sir."
Oh, but that's how they said it.
Oh,
okay.
The person who answered the phone did.
Oh, okay.
There ain't no bus there, sir. Okay. So your website says, well, I don't know nothing about the website. Okay. Well, can you point me to someone who does? And so I got the answer saying, oh, we're updating that. We're working on that. Mind you, it never changed. It never changed. So I say all that to say that there's barriers already for people voting. Like, that could have, if I was not that determined, I could have been like, look, I tried to do it, bitch. It didn't happen, whatever. Or what if that was my only time that I could go vote?
But that happens a lot. People will just be like, oh, well, fuck it.
And so these voter provisions are they provisions? I guess, yeah, these new provisions with this new state bill are just creating more barriers that people have to climb through. I'll be interested to see the data of voting and how many people actually turn out to vote with these new regulations in place, or laws, if you will.
Well, that's the job of us organizers and folks out here really working hard to, one, fight against all of these restrictive provisions, but also to try and overcome them by helping people meet the needs that they have, by getting their IDs or registering to vote, or you can't take someone's ballot and take it to the thing that can't do that. That would be illegal. But finding ways to get people to the place where they can be to vote. So that's our job at this point. So we have to fight against this shit.
Absolutely. And that also to our Black queer community. You know, a lot of us don't know about politics. I just told y'all earlier, I don't know a lot. I do know enough, but I'm always learning. I'm always opening to learn more, you know, because to be honest with you, the only time we really, and D'Angelo, your knowledge of politics is very impressive, because baby, the only thing I remember is from 10th grade civics. And that was back in 2007. You know, so there's not really a push to learn about politics and government systems and how it impacts us outside of high school. You know, once you leave, you know, you're trying to hustle and make sure you're living in life.
You just got to figure it out yourself.
So I say all that to say, I encourage you all to Google, look at things. When you Google, though, just don't take the word of one article. You know, look at other shit. Talk to your peers. Talk to the folks. You know, I talk to D'Angelo. I'm always listening.
Facebook is kind of a good way to talk to your peers.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they sometimes have legitimate articles up there too. You can find a lot of information, reputable information on Facebook, because social media is becoming, you know, a lot larger. There's a lot of bullshit too.
Certainly. Certainly, definitely. It's a lot of bullshit. Twitter, all those places. But are we
Twitter on a Wednesday?
But Twitter's entertaining though. Black Twitter, baby. Let me tell you,
very entertaining.
Gets me through my life
in many different ways.
All right.
Okay. So
he said, "All right."
Well. So now on this podcast, what we'll be doing is what's called the MVP.
Before we go there, can I just mention something about Iowa?
Oh, go ahead. What's Iowa got going on?
So they have...
What's in Iowa? I'm just joking.
Correct. They have a bill that causes you to be inactive every time you miss a federal election.
So, bitch, I have to re-register every fucking time?
If you miss it, you got to re-register. You know, in Georgia, it'll remain active.
There are places that are doing that. There are.
Wow.
And I'm not sure people actually know about that.
Because they don't want them to know.
Exactly. So then it just becomes active. You go to vote and you can't do it. Then it's like, oh well.
The irony is a lot of these places are Republican places that are doing that. I just want to acknowledge that part. A lot of these Republican administrations are doing that. And we're going to try to be as nonpartisan as possible.
Absolutely nonpartisan.
Yes. You are correct.
I'm also gonna say when I see something, a pattern happening, and
these are the facts, though. I mean, it's not like we're saying anything out of the norm. These are largely led majority Republican areas. Yeah, cities, states, governments.
So so the MVP.
What is the MVP?
What that is, y'all?
Yes. So the most valuable player is our new MVP. It's going to be a new segment that we're going to add to this show every now and then. You'll hear us say that we have a new MVP, and we'll highlight somebody doing amazing work or someone who has, you know, contributed to the culture of Black culture, Black queer men culture. And this year's MVP, or this year.
I was about to say, bitch. MVP. We only doing an MVP per year?
Okay. That's very valuable right there.
This week's MVP is...
Karamo Brown.
Ew.
Y'all know who that is?
Did you say Paramo or Karamo?
Karamo with a K.
It definitely sounded like you said Paramo. And I'm like, who is Paramo Brown?
K as in kite. Karamo Brown.
Okay. I have to need all that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Y'all know who Karamo is?
I'm a piranha. Yeah, real world. Or was he on Road Rules? I used to have
he was on both.
He was on. I used to have the biggest crush on him.
It was He was Real World Philadelphia.
Real Rules wasn't introduced at that.
He was in Philly, the city of. What was the white boy's name with the curly hair?
Girl, I don't know. I just know Karamo. I don't know anybody else.
And that's why he's the MVP. Okay. No, tell us a little bit about Karamo.
So y'all know he was on Real World Philadelphia.
Okay,
but we're gonna skip all that. We're gonna go to his activism.
Show, I think that's when another time I knew I was gay. I was like, why?
So actually, speaking of gay, he was actually the first openly gay black man on reality TV.
Are we sure about that one?
Yeah. You want to Google it?
Well, Real World was like
back
very first
back in the day.
reality television shows to exist. So
these are facts.
Mind you, I said openly gay. Just remember that part.
That is very true. He used to bring some fine men to that house too.
So Karamo activism.
I'm just saying.
So what has he done in the activism world?
So in 2014. So we're gonna fast forward from Real World. 2014, he partnered.
30 years in the future. I'm joking.
Anyways, Mr. Brown partnered with the pharmaceutical company Janssen as part of the Positively Fearless campaign to empower gay and bisexual men. And then also he co-founded 6and10.org, an organization that works to combat HIV stigma and provides mental health support and HIV education to the Black LGBT community. That was in 2015.
Yes. Let's
see. Oh, he was invited by the Obama administration to work with the White House to create policies and legislations that help with supporting the aspiring LGBTQ youth and their community, along with their allies after school.
Beautiful. So he's been
out
working.
Here.
Yeah, he's been working.
He got books out too.
Not to mention, he continues to be a very positive presence on the, I won't say internet, on reality television till this day with Queer Eye, which he was on not long. I think he's still on actually.
Oh yeah, he's still on as the culture expert.
Yes. So he's out here. So he's definitely someone that I don't see a lot of people highlight, and I think it's important that we highlight people that often go unnoticed.
Absolutely.
Also, it's June. It's Pride Month, and also Father's Day is coming up.
And
he a daddy?
Is a father.
He
is?
Oh yeah.
He got kids?
Oh yeah.
How many?
One.
I thought it was 2.
I think it's a son. 1.
Oh.
But correct us if we're wrong. I'm sure there will be
leave a comment. Mm-hmm. We need some fact checks.
Yeah, we might need some fact, and I know you guys are not gonna hesitate on fact checking,
and that is fine.
Any facts that we have, and that is great. We love the dialogue. We love to have people come back and tell us things that we said wrong, or that you agree with, or that you didn't disagree with. Just do it in a respectful manner.
Yeah, be careful now, because we artists and we sensitive about our shit.
And that's just on period.
Respectful. Because we're going to try to be respectful to you.
Try.
We will. We will be respectful.
What is respect? That is a social construct.
Well, congratulations to Karamo for being our first MVP of the Rustin Hour podcast. Yay. We'll press the button, but...
Jerald, what the fuck is going on? Jerald, it is not stopping. Oh, no, you added shit. We are definitely leaving this in here. Hey, you guys, come on down. It's $2.99 Wednesdays at TGI Fridays.
That was...
And we are cutting that out.
I thought that was clapping, though.
Wow,
where's the clapping
Jerald.
one?
It might be this one.
But we're going to leave it there. All right.
He pressed that button strong and hard, too.
Because I thought it was clapping.
Like,
I was ready to clap for him.
All
right. Aaron, right?
Actually, Aaron, do not edit this out.
That was hilarious. Okay. Okay. Anyways, I'll give you a clap.
Yes, I was fine with the blue. That was how,
you know.
And then you had to come with the country music.
Okay, moving on.
He embarrassed.
I'm not a...
It's stopped now.
Which one is clapping?
There we go. Good job, Karamo, as our MVP.
Mr. Brown. Fantastic.
There we go. So, button number 2.
Got you. The yellow one.
The yellow one. Follow the yellow brick road.
Period.
Yes. Okay, so as you guys know, COVID impacted our world, our whole world. This last year, a lot of us were stuck in the home. Some of us wasn't stuck in homes.
Some of us was still taking them $20 flights.
Some of us was still going to
work. Were
work.
they ever $20 now? Nah, I remember I paid $45 for one, but $20.
I think I did see some $20 flights.
Oh, bitch, that must have been on Spirit.
I think it was. No shade to
all the shade.
Spirit. If you want to sponsor our podcast,
so no shade to Spirit.
Yes, you're open for sponsorships.
Delta, where you at though?
But that being said, people. So a lot of us were stuck in our homes and not able to go out and enjoy the company of other people or do anything last summer because COVID hit like right before summer. So around that April, March time. Yeah.
Are we sure we lost our summers last summer?
A lot of us did.
I did. Don't wait.
A lot of us did, and so we missed one hot girl summer, and so 2021, the hot girl, hot boy summer is coming back because we just got the announcement this past week that you can go outside or stay inside if you had the COVID vaccine, so Moderna, Pfizer, or
Johnson.
Let's not mention that one. I don't know.
What if they want to sponsor us, Jerald?
They're killing people.
Ooh, such a
okay, so they're not killing people. Let me just take it back.
All right, now.
Never mind. Let me take it back. Okay, so
but the Johnson is also a vaccine that they have. But so these vaccines, they're saying that if you've gotten your vaccine, you can now...
Both vaccinations.
Full vaccination.
Because a lot of people are not going back for the second one. About 5 million people have not gone back.
That literally makes no sense to me at all. Why would you take the first one and not go back?
Because they feel like they are right and they're good to go.
But the directions clearly say you need 2 vaccinations.
You need that booster.
When you... Even hepatitis... What was it? Hepatitis A?
C.
I think when I got my vaccination in 6th grade for hepatitis A, we had 3 shots we had to do in order for it to be. So it's not like we haven't been vaccinated before where you have to go back and get a second one. I mean, especially if you were born in 1990, mid-80s, we are like the vaccination babies. Probably before that too, because you had the polio outbreak and all that stuff.
And I think this was the easiest vaccine I've ever taken. Like I didn't feel it at all, honestly.
Yeah.
Did you have those?
I had Pfizer.
No, I'm talking about the second time that you got your vaccination. The second symptoms? One, did it like knock you out like everybody else said it did?
I wasn't knocked. I had like mild symptoms, like flu-like symptoms. Like I had some chills. I got hot. I felt cold, but I was burning up. But it was only a night.
And just as a FYI, you all, when you get these vaccinations, I just want to make this clear. It is actually not putting a piece of the virus into your body. Just as an FYI.
Google it.
Please do. Reputable Google.
But we definitely recommend people to, take time to learn about the vaccine.
Please do.
Figure out which one works best for you and go and get vaccinated. Because we want to have a hot boy summer. And
I will say also, too, in that same respect, though, we do have to honor people and let them have the choice to decide whether or not they are going to get the vaccination.
Oh, for sure.
I think that's very important. Allow people to do their own research and to make that decision. Because at the end of the day, it's their body.
Yeah.
100% their body. But also, if you're going to do that, make sure that you're also protecting yourself as well.
Exactly.
That means you can't really engage in hot boy summer because
or just know that if you do, that you might catch COVID.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Absolutely. And that is the kicker right there. It's funny because I've been around people. I might cough and I'm like, I ain't got COVID. They're like, it's okay, I'm fully vaccinated. I don't care.
I did that today.
You did that today? That's how you feel?
I did that today.
So there's like this new level of confidence that you have when you get that second vaccine.
So I was, my anxiety leveled out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as anxious when I'm out
Absolutely.
in the groups or whatever, or on the streets.
And I think this pandemic, it's a pandemic. We haven't experienced we have never experienced a pandemic. Our parents have never experienced a pandemic. Because last pandemic was I don't want to call it the Spanish flu. Because
bird flu.
No, the flu of 1918.
Oh, okay, we can call it that.
So yeah, about 100 years ago. And so this is our first time experiencing a pandemic. And I forgot where I was going with that. Damn.
So this is our first time experiencing it.
Us, I mean, you mean our generation is like us and our parents.
Oh,
generation.
it was going back to what you were talking about, Jerald, when you were talking about anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a conversation with a really good friend of ours who used to be a part of He Is Valuable. And we talked about how humans, our behaviors in general, we're just social folks. And a lot of the opportunities, especially technology being revolutionized, transportation, and our access to people and how we had to modify that behavior. I mean, think about where the United States is now in comparison to 1918. So over 100 years ago, there's so much development. There's so much change.
They didn't have no podcast back then.
Okay, in human behavior. So we have all this access. And then all of a sudden, boom. Bitch, you got to stay in the house. You can't go to the park. You can't do this. You can't go to the movies. Everything is shutting down. So one, you have the issue of, okay, well, I do want to make sure that I'm safe. I do want to make sure that I'm healthy. I do want to make sure that I'm stopping the spread of this virus. But also, too, we're combating, natural human behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And think about the people who suffered through depression or had to experience, in-home abuse while sheltering in place. Like, there's so many barriers.
Because I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that increased domestic abuse in the home.
Definitely.
And
It did. And think about Jazz Waters, who was the writer of, is it This Is Us? That show that comes on ABC, one of those networks.
that's This Is Us.
This Is Us, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So her, she unfortunately committed suicide. And a lot of that had to do with the type of mental state that she was in due to sheltering in place. It was hard for a lot of people. Easy for some. Easy for me, to be honest with you, because I don't mind staying my ass in the house.
It was easy for me because I had another person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even that, though, that could be difficult, too, especially if you and that other person are not gelling together, in general.
It turned out very well.
You can see you got a ring on your finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was married now.
Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ring on the finger. We
You
had
know
to highlight.
those
You can't brush over that. That's So somebody's gonna have a real sanctified hot girl summer.
Still gonna be.
He said sanctified.
Okay. What is that?
am screaming.
Yeah. So
Catching flights.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Being in the streets.
That's what I just did this past week.
You sure did. Nola.
Nola, what's up? What they say, baby? I'm gonna be saying that for the rest of the week. Speaking of that, I really had a great time. That's definitely going to be the start of my hot boy summer. I'm looking to do so many things. I hope to travel more. I hope to get to see all of my friends that I did not get to see last year. So many people I've lost touch with, which is really, really sad. And some of the opportunities that were not taken because we had to shut down completely. But are you guys looking forward to anything?
So me and my husband, we've already been talking. We're gonna be catching all types of flights this summer season. We weren't able to actually do anything, COVID, and because we had other obligations. But yeah, we're finna catch flights. We finna be out here in these streets of Atlanta, thotting and bopping together. That's the plan.
Thotting and bopping.
Pop?
I'm not thotting and bopping. I am.
And bop.
I'm holy.
Girl.
What you bopping on? Wait, you gonna be what, Will?
Holy. This is what Jerald was bopping on.
Oh, no, ma'am.
Oh my gosh. Twitter.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Lord Jesus.
Y'all didn't want to see that. It's okay.
No, they probably did.
No, I'm super excited. It's gonna be a good summer, and then also we're gonna be doing our podcast. So
yeah,
I mean, what other way can we be spending our summer besides sitting together and
this
talk
is
about
the first
shit?
Episode, y'all.
Oh, it is.
Do we need to clap for that? We had enough claps. Okay, we got
yes, our very first episode, bitch.
Yes, so exciting. So exciting. And we basically just filmed it all. So
recorded it.
So D'Angelo has this thing where he continues to say film instead of record.
Ain't no camera in here.
Oh, child.
So if he says film, y'all just know it. He means
says
record.
the bitch that said resign like 12 times.
Wow. Okay, let me catch you outside after this. All right.
No, y'all know y'all cannot fight.
I'm gonna play home. Don't try me.
I leave that to the girls at the clubs.
I don't fight often.
At the more
Actually, I don't
think
fight
that's
at all.
racist.
Racist.
It's racist.
That's accurate. That's a fact.
Racist.
That's nonpartisan.
I am a frequent card holder membership person at the Marquette.
And how many fights you seen?
Maybe one.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Were you asleep the rest of the time?
Was not. Getting my life on the back patio, the dance floor, the back 2 rooms, all of it. The back. Don't do that.
Oh.
No, you said what you said.
I said the back 2 rooms because they are the back 2 rooms.
They're your rooms?
Rooms. Large spaces like this where people dance and sit and have conversation.
Oh, that's beautiful. Great.
Vanillas.
That's cute for you.
Well, I mean, no hate on none of the clubs because they might want to be sponsored as well in the future. So definitely.
Yeah, we be up in there thotting and bopping too.
Well, I don't.
Sometimes.
Nah,
girl, you was just there.
At where?
Bulldogs.
Oh, girl, who said anything about Bulldogs?
We thotting and bopping in Bulldogs.
I don't thought and bop it no Bulldogs. I might be bopping, but it ain't no thotting.
I'm gonna stop saying it because I don't be
I'm
thotting.
bopping my head to the music.
Thank you for that correction. All right. Do we have announcements?
Child. Oh yeah, because girl, we about to get all the way off track. Anyway, so let's talk about his. So his is a program of His Valuable. We actually run his. It's our services department. You want to talk about
He
that?
is supported. I have a phone number for y'all. It is 404-992 5104. Now, what is that number? You can call, text.
Say it one more time, Jerald.
Okay.
So beautifully done.
404-992 5104.
Yep, I heard it. That's the number to our His hotline, baby.
You can call, text,
okay.
or that.
Now, if you call, please give folks who have the phone, staff members, at least 48 hours to respond. We try to respond within 24 hours and all of those great things. So if you're wondering what the His phone is, it is a great way to help Black queer men who are in the greater Atlanta area, who need connection to services such as social services, food, housing, clothes, all of those things. That is what our hotline is for. So even if you don't need these services, but if you know someone who needs them, please, 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 please send them our way. That is our main purpose. Yes, this podcast is wonderful, but if we are not linking people, if we are not helping and supporting our community, hence the name He is supporting. What are we here for?
Absolutely nothing. Okay. So just make sure y'all lock that number in your phone.
One more time, Jerald. One more time.
404 992.
You almost forgot it, y'all.
5104.
All right, save it in. Save our number. If you need a contact pic, just let us know. We'll send it your way. Also, if you are looking to volunteer with He is Valuable, we are always looking for volunteers to help us with our valuable feedings. Not our valuable
You better
feedbacks.
say that right.
Our valuable feedings. And also just in general helping out with the organization and any activities we have going on. Please feel free to visit our website, heisvaluable.org. That is heisvaluable.org.
Yeah.
And you can find our volunteer application on our website. Also, if our marketing director, I think Mr. Kendall T. Boone Jr., put up our link tree on our Instagram, you should be able to follow us on Instagram at He Is Valuable. Click on that link tree and you will find the link to our volunteer application as well as our He Is Supported application if you are looking for linkage services.
Yes. Also, follow us on all social media. Well, not all. Facebook, Instagram. You can also follow
He Is Valuable.
He Is Valuable.
Google it.
Yes. You can also follow the Bayard Rustin Instagram at
The Rustin Hour. The
_
Rustin
_
Hour.
Don't forget them underscores, bitch.
So please follow us on all social medias. Check up and see what we're doing, what we're providing to the community. Get involved.
Yeah, and give us feedback. Let us know how we can improve. Respectfully.
Thank you.
All right, y'all.
Well, this was our first fucking podcast.
Do another clap.
Yeah.
All right, turn that shit out my ear now.
Oh, wow. Somebody's ready to go.
This is our first official podcast. So yay. Our next one will be on June 15th.
That is correct.
June 15th.
June 15th, 4 days before Juneteenth. Turn up.
We'll have new topics, new things to discuss with you. Definitely new programs to promote. So I'm looking forward to speaking with you guys in the future.
Absolutely.
Bye. Love you guys.
Love
Congratulations
y'all.
to my two co-hosts.
So long.
Y'all.
Farewell to you, my friend. Wait, we can't sing that. We might get sued.
Oh.
All right.
All right. See y'all later.
Till we meet again.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
bitches.